Good morning, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started here with this vBrownBag Tech Talk today. And what I'm going to be talking about today is the difference between some services that we announced here this week at VMworld. One is our VMware Cloud services for operations that you may have seen. We're offering network insight, some costing tools within that solution, as well as shortly an automation solution. That versus our VMware Cloud on Amazon service. So I've talked to a number of customers this week that there was some confusion. We're also doing a NSX to the cloud service. Want to make sure we dispel any of the confusion between these different offerings. My name is Ryan Kelly. I'm a cloud specialist here at VMware. I focus primarily on the VMware Cloud on Amazon solution. I'm also involved with our office's CTO with the innovations in the VMware Cloud services as well. So this was presented to us even internally about a year ago, and there was a lot of confusion over which service is running which solution, what is actually offered for each of those solutions, and why are we going about this strategy. So today I'm going to explain each of the technology and the pros and cons of each one and the differences between those. So what we're seeing out in the industry is that clouds are becoming the new silo. Early on, before virtualization, it was much more siloed of different teams within the data center, the networking team, the storage team. But now we're seeing that there's different specialties within our customers that are specialized in Azure, Amazon, Google Compute Cloud. And so as a lot of our customers have adopted VMware technology and VMware management tools, what we wanted to do is be able to provide this single pane of glass experience to be able to manage across all of those cloud solutions, but be able to have it be that same consistent experience across all of them. So what VMware has done is we've introduced what we call cross-cloud services. So we're looking at management operations, networking security, being able to push that same NSX technology to clouds like Azure and Amazon, but also be able to do billing, monitoring, do any type of automation, so be able to push workloads between each of those environments, but from one single interface using the same credentials as well as the same billing experience you've used today as a VMware customer. So what we've done or announced this week is our cloud services are primarily focusing on these pillars. We have announced our discovery, so being able to go out, add your Azure or Amazon account or vCenter account to this service. It'll go out and discover all the entities that you have deployed there. And then from there, you can do things like cost comparisons or billing with those different service offerings. We also have announced a log insight that's available in the cloud. And then as well as our network insight, there was our Arkin acquisition, so be able to see the actual flows of network data between your data center and the app right from end to end, see where you have any bottlenecks, also see and be able to troubleshoot and understand where it makes more efficiencies to move those workloads into the cloud or move those workloads back, depending on the latency that they may incur. What we've also introduced this week is we've announced initial availability of VMware Cloud on AWS. So again, this is a very much different service and different experience. What this is we have taken the same code, the same vSphere VMware code, the vSAN, NSX, ESXi, and we've installed that in Amazon's data center on bare metal hardware. So we're offering this as a service offering. So unlike a traditional on-prem vSphere where you'd buy hardware from a vendor, hopefully Dell now in my case, then you would install that software, you'd buy a license from VMware, install an vSphere, install your vCenter, install your host, then you'd layer on vSAN, configure that, layer on NSX. With this service, from a single portal, with one click, you would actually instantiate a 4-host VMware SDDC that will come fully baked with your vCenter, ESX, vSAN, and NSX all ready to go within 2 hours. So one button to click, but it's also being offered as a service by VMware. So it's also when you have any issues or a host fails, VMware will respond, bring up another host automatically with remediation, and then it's one number to call one support. So if you have issues with the service, you're not going to be calling Amazon or your Amazon contacts. You call VMware support the same way you do for your ESX host. But what it does is it bridges your already on-prem offering a vSphere environment, and then we're offering this week you may have seen the hybrid linked mode. So we're offering this single user experience across both your on-prem and your VMware Cloud and AWS experience. So from one single vCenter portal, you'll be able to see VMs and ESX hosts that are in your data center, whether they be in one single data center across the US or across global, but you'll also be able to see your VMs that are in the VMware Cloud and AWS data center. It does have vSAN and NSX as part of the initial offering. It does not require that you have those on-prem though. We would love for you to have those on-prem, and we offer some discounts for that, some loyalty programs, but it's not required that you have those on-prem. But it's unlike our previous attempts at cloud, so you may have remember vCloud Air that we had previously. This is not the same as that. So vCloud Air had an abstraction layer on top of it, which was Cloud Director, and it fundamentally changed the way our customers operationalized their environments. It required changes in configuration. It had different APIs, had different form factors for the virtual machines deployed. With this service, it's exactly the same vCenter that you're using on site. So all of the APIs are exactly the same. So if you're using PowerCLA to manage your environment, if you have additional tools like from our partners or our sister products, the vRealize suite, all going to work day one the same way they did. All your change management systems, so if you have something like ServiceNow or a change management system that was already heavily integrated into the process of how you do your change management, that's going to work day one with this service. And what we're also offering is this adjacency to the Amazon cloud services. So as you provision a VM, there may be developers or your application owners that want to take advantage of new ways to actually deliver their application. So they may want to take advantage of using something like S3 for the image backend or the image uploads for the app. So when someone goes to the website, attach an image, they may want that to be on S3. They can do that. The VM can exist on the VMware vSphere environment in Amazon, and then have a S3 bucket that's out on Amazon Web Services. That would be a separate bill, so if you're utilizing something from Amazon, it's going to be a separate bill from your Amazon console. However, as long as it's in the same availability zone, we have a cross-cloud connection that we won't charge for any of the data transfer fees. So it'll be a seamless experience, and no additional tax from us or from Amazon to utilize those services. So what we've done for cross-cloud services and VMware Cloud and AWS is we made what we call internally a common services platform. So we have one entry point, use your My VMware credentials. And what we're doing is not actually new. So if you've used Amazon or Azure before, when you log into that console, into the Amazon Web Console, it's one single experience, one single UI, and behind the scenes there may be 100, every week Amazon's releasing additional services, but it's one single user experience through the end-to-end through that whole process. So what we've done is we've taken that same approach. We've built this common platform web interface with also additional APIs for management. And behind that, we've put our VMware Cloud service offerings, so our SaaS-based offerings to do discovery and cost insight, as well as network insight. And you'll see as we go along, there'll be additional services. You've seen this week we've announced Wavefront will be offered as this service behind here. What we've also done is the VMware Cloud on AWS, the console to manage and provision your SDCs, is also in this same portal experience. So when you log in, you'll see one of the offerings in the portal initially is I can go in and do network insight as long as I've subscribed to that service, but I can also go into VMware Cloud on AWS and use that service if that's something I've acquired from VMware. So essentially on the left here you see the VMware Cloud on AWS stack. Again, that same portal experience, you log into the VMware Cloud services, but you'll go, depending on what service you're requiring or utilizing, you'll either go into the VMware Cloud and AWS stack or the VMware Cloud Services stack to be able to do provision and manage across different clouds that maybe are not Amazon. So that would be, services where you have Amazon EC2 VMs, you may have Azure virtual machines, you may have Google Compute Engine running there, or it may actually be your VMware vCenter. They're not exclusive of each other as well, so these are services that are offered separately or as a pack, as an offering. You could utilize both, but they're definitely not required that you have everything. I do want to point out that the VMware Cloud and AWS again is it's a bare metal offering. It's just in the Amazon data center, exclusively offered by VMware and supported by us. But two different solutions. So when we talk cross-cloud services, what we're talking about is these offerings for cost management, network insight. When we talk VMware Cloud and AWS, we're talking about an SEC that's in the cloud. When we talk about NSX as a service, that's through the same portal, but that's again saying we're taking those great features of NSX and we're pushing those to another cloud. So a question we get a lot is that customers think that the VMware Cloud and AWS is really just putting our hypervisor in Amazon and then being able to use that for EC2. It's definitely not that. So Amazon's still going to have EC2. They're running on the Zen platform. But this is a way for our customers to take advantage, to be able to use services in a cloud, but not have to refactor or change their operational procedures. They can take everything, even those legacy apps, whatever VMware vSphere supports, they can move it into this cloud without changing any of the ways they do things. They don't have to re-IP, they don't have to change drivers, they don't have to recertify with the vendor that's deployed that. Seamlessly move, so that delivering again on that promise of hybrid cloud, being able to do things like long distance vMotion into the cloud, move things back when it makes sense. You have, times a year when it's low priority. We'll take questions at the end. Yeah. You want to be able to move those in and out. This is a service that gives you that offering. The cloud services are a bonus on top of that to have different services available to you as a SaaS offering. There's no bits to install, but they could work in conjunction with the VMware Cloud and AWS service. Oh. So that's all I have. Let me put it back in presentation mode here. I'll leave it on the last slide here. Whoop, now I can't go. Too fast. There, okay. So with that, we can go ahead and take some questions from the audience. Oh, I'm sorry.